We're exploring the powerful pedagogy of creation. How often have your students been bored to death through the proverbial death by PowerPoint, sitting and consuming content that has been shown to them hours on end through slides? You probably have the same experience sitting in a conference. Now, rather than just consuming that content, why don't we allow our students to create that content, and not just PowerPoint slides, which of course they could do, which would also be part of invoking the pedagogy of creation, but using exciting tools like Powtoon, which uses the affordances of technology. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring the power of technology to bear and to align that with how our modern students enjoy and like to learn. So we use tools like Powtoon that allow them to create animations. Here's just a brief example of a Powtoon video to get you in the mood.
Once there were two students, Susan and Ernie. Susan had a very nice teacher who taught the class in a traditional manner and assigned homework to be done the same night. This was a problem for Susan at times because she would get easily distracted and not remember much about the lesson afterward. This left Susan frustrated when trying to complete her homework because she could not do her best on it. Ernie's teacher was also very nice, but she taught her class a little differently. Instead of lecturing to the class during the day, she created a video assignment for her students to do online at home. They would take notes, watch the video as much as necessary, and come to school the next day prepared and ready to apply what they had learned. This model of instruction is called flipped learning. In a flipped classroom, the direct instruction and homework distribution are flipped. At home, students watch the lessons prepared by their teacher on their media device. Students can then take notes, practice their skills, and come to class ready to apply their new knowledge. Flipped learning also allows the teacher more time to make sure that the students understand the material and offer aid to those who do not. This teaching method also opens more opportunities for collaboration. This can help in extending each student's learning experience. The routine took just a little bit of time to get used to, but Susan's teacher gave it a try, and Susan thrived.
We're exploring the powerful pedagogy of creation. Rather than boring our students to death with watching PowerPoint videos, we're going to encourage them to learn through creating their own animations. And what students don't enjoy, and animation, cartoons, etc., it's the opportunity to create them. And there is lots of learning to be had when they are creating their own content. So it's powtoon.com. You arrive, it has got various options. There are upgrade options and free options, but the free option gives you a lot of what you really need. There are choices of cartoons or corporate look and feels. Infographics is quite interesting because that's something that can be used to support the pedagogy of chaos, which we'll look at in a different section. But if you really want to get going quickly, you can just choose one of the pre-made templates. There's all sorts of pre-made templates. Obviously, you can start from scratch. You'll choose one of the templates that are here. It really is fun for the students, even a little book report template. I'm just going to go with a quick one just to give you an idea of how easy this is. I'm going to choose the teacher intro. You can preview it or simply click and use it. Right, once you've done that, it will give you the slides that are going to make up this particular animation. So it's your basic structure. So these are the scenes. So it's really like making a movie. You're going to get your students involved in movie production. That should get them excited. And so here you have your various slides. On each slide, you can obviously delete the slide if you don't want it, or replace it with some other form of scene. So there are other sorts of scenes like outros and calls to action, etc. So if you're happy with what you've got here and you think, well, this is great, it's exactly what I want, fantastic, all you do is you hit continue. And what you now then see are your various scenes, as they are called, or slides as you might have originally called them, on the side here. Here's your different slides. You can immediately see it's already loaded and it's ready for action. It's slightly different to how you would use PowerPoint. So it does have a series of slides, and then down the bottom here, it indicates if I click on one of these, it tells you, right, this is the one you're dealing with. You are dealing with a hello waving person. So you can manipulate it through the bottom here, which you can see which piece of text is going to appear when on the timeline. So it's basically a timeline that's going to appear So that means hello, then the waving lady appears, my name is, and your name. So that's the difference. So this is a timeline because you're really creating an animation. But otherwise, it's really quite simple. And all you need to do is just change whatever you want. So my name, I need to put in here. So there's my name. And I'm a little bit worried that it might not match up with the lady waving. So there are some options here. You can change the animation settings, how many times it must play the waving person, if you just want it 4 times or you just want to keep waving. Or you can click swap, and you'll find that there are a whole lot of other characters and props that you can choose from the library. So there are many others. Again, if you're in a paid version, there are more, or otherwise you just choose one that's from the library. So I'm going to choose one of these, and I'll just choose the sort of happy hello waving dude fella here. Right, so there he is, and again I can position him if I want to move him into a slightly different position. That is all quite simple, and that's as easy as it is. And at any stage I can play it and check on how that slide is going. Right, so it's going to move on to the next slide, and now I need to edit that slide as well. So I'm so excited. Yes, I'm sure she is, but I'm just going to make some more changes as I've shown you, and I'm going to swap her out and put in the happy waving fellow dude again. Right, now what you can do if you just want to check the timing of a specific slide, this is going to play everything and continue through to the next slide. This is just going to play your current slide. Right, so that just allows you to test your current slide. Otherwise, it's going to play through from your point all the way through to the end. Right, so I'm just going to quickly, on super speedy turbo mode, make some more changes to the rest of it. Right, so that was quick. Obviously, I'm just super speedy on turbo mode. Really, it doesn't take more than a couple of minutes, obviously, to edit the template. And as I said, now our little video is ready. I have created it in almost no time at all. Just quickly, one or two other things. You can also, as you start to experiment, you'll see it's really quite straightforward. You can change all sorts of fun things. So let's say that word over there, at the moment, the way that word is going to play, if I just play this particular slide for you. Okay, so nothing too exciting about it, but I can actually change how different aspects appear. So I can take that word and say, well, I actually would like that word to be written on the screen. So I can change it to have that effect and hit apply. So you can do things in a little bit more fun way. Okay, so there you see it, and you'll see at the bottom here, I can click here and see which particular word or which particular animation is appearing at which time. So again, remember it is a timeline, so you can't always see everything on the screen at the same time. So you need to click and edit things as you wish. So that is our fun little Powtoon, and let's give it a whirl to see how it looks. That's how easy it is to create an animation using Powtoon. Very simple, as I've just shown you, and at the end of this process, obviously, you can get your students to export that Powtoon. Now, again, there are some options here. You can publish it to Powtoons, which is fun, and you can share it from there. There are various premium options like SlideShare, etc. So it depends on what account you're on. You can also download it as an MP4, which again is a premium option, or it can convert it to PowerPoint, but that's not quite as fun. Or quite simply, you can just share it as a link. So that's a simple way of just sharing it through one of your social media spaces, or your students could quite simply email a link to their Powtoon to you. So it really is simple, and it is a very exciting way of getting your students involved in the pedagogy of creation.